Hi friends, MD Vegan. I make a cacao today on my Gentle Juicefasting day. I make plant milks, usually late in the day, like as a dessert. Usually at the daytime I release juices, water, other beverages. And if I use nut and seed milks, of course there's more fat in the drink, so that's a little bit heavier, but it also soothing a little bit, like it calming down. More calories means slowing down the fasting a little bit, and at night that is nice to have a little dessert, like a dessert on a fasting day. I fast 1 day a week usually. Over years and years, it's a nice habit now. It's part of my rhythm. It's really nice. I tune also in the moon rhythms. The moon is related to the earth. You know, the tides are caused by the moon. Also the waters in the body, they're related to the moon. And yogis, they say that it helps the cleansing. Yeah, if we fast together with the moon rhythm. Big part of the cleansing of the fasting is cleansing also. Also with the mind, same with the mind, not only the body is cleansed, also the mind decluttering. You think about things that have been forgotten almost. They come up again and then you get rid of them. Yeah, decluttering makes the mind feel free for new things, new thoughts, new experiences, new feelings. And of course then also creativity is enhanced. Sensitivity, creativity. To me it's a nice opportunity also in these days to make new recipes. I like making new recipes, as you might know already. And today I make a cacao with Brazil nuts. A very simple one. I have Brazil nuts. I have some soaked, I happen to soak them. You don't need to soak them, but you can. But they're very hard nuts. Yeah. Soaking takes a long time. You don't need to soak them. Yeah, it makes it easier to blend. This is, well, 1.5 cup or so. That's for a medium. It's a liter milk with between 1 and 2 cups. Make the milk a little bit thicker or thinner. That's up to you, what you prefer. Creamier milk would be 2 cups of nuts in general, and 1 cup would be a thinner milk, a lighter milk. What you prefer, I take 1.5 now. That's random. And I have dates and cacao. That's, cacao is bitter, yeah, nature flavor, and sweet dates to make it a little bit more, to balance the bitter flavor. I have here maybe 2 tablespoons of cacao powder and 8 or 7 dates or so. And that also depends on you, how much you like, how much sweetness you like. It's really not a strict measurement, of course. It's totally up to you. So one thing is to say to the Brazil nuts, they have a very specific flavor. Selenium is the one ingredient, the one nutrient that is, and the mineral that is in Brazil nuts, very specific. It's not in many ingredients, not in many plants, is selenium. And I have a friend, typically a friend, she says, you know, sometimes I eat a bag of Brazil nuts, and I said, that's when you happen to need selenium. The body knows what it needs usually, and then it has a special desire. And that's sometimes I feel the same. Sometimes I like to have a Brazil nut, and as selenium is not in many foods, it might be exactly that's the reason why I then feel a desire to have Brazil nuts. I love these nuts. They are very high in fat, I guess, and have a very specific flavor. And yeah, I think it might be nice together with cacao. Yeah, Brazil nuts and cacao. I will try that today. Let's see. So I have 1 liter water. Put this here right into the blender, and you see the blender dance. Oh, wait a second. Before I do that, I will put a little top on the blender. Sometimes when the blender is full, the water comes through the roof, but with this little trick I can prevent that. A nice color, right? See? Now I will have to filter it through a nut milk bag. That's important on a fasting day especially, because here the nut milk bag, it's the usual nut milk bag, the fine pores here, that will keep the fiber out of the milk. And the fiber is what makes the body begin to digest. The work of digestion usually takes 60% or so from the energy from the food just for digestion. On a fasting day, we take out the fiber, that what we cannot digest usually. That is easily spoken, it's not correct, but almost, yeah. We can use some of the fiber for nutrients, but in general we say we don't digest the fiber. The fiber is separated in the digestion, yeah. But that makes the fiber so healthy because that's the bacteria in the gut. They eat the fiber, they live on the fiber, and we live on the rest. And also the fiber, the gut bacteria is so important for our health, immune system. So they need to be happy, and the fiber makes them happy. And the fiber also regulates the intake of nutrients. If you have no fiber like here, I have now juice without fiber. That's what a juice makes usually, a juice, to take out the fiber. Then the nutrients go directly into the bloodstream without digestion. And that makes it very powerful. And but we want that. We want the digestion to rest on a fasting day, because then we can use all the energy in the food or the juice for cleansing, for what we do fasting for. Yeah, that's nice. And wait a second, I have to be a little bit careful here, not to lose the bag. Yeah. So I have to keep it tight. So now I can milk the nut milk bag. I can milk the nuts, as they say, like this. And I don't show you all the thing, that takes a little bit of time. You don't need to watch me all the time doing it. It takes some minutes. I come back in a second when I've filtered here the nut milk. I show you the nut milk, and I will taste it in front of you. So yeah, who would have thought a liter? Yeah, it's a liter Brazil nut cacao. I will taste it now. Looks nice, a gentle color, texture also nice. Yeah, that is always easy with a nut milk. The texture is easy. So very curious now. Never tried before. Once I made a hemp Brazil nut cacao with hemp seeds and Brazil nuts. Hemp is also a very special flavor, and that was nice, but this one is only Brazil nuts and cacao and dates. Let's see. Good. Oh yeah. And I thought that it is a very nice combination. Brazil nut tastes a little bit like wood. I would say like a wooden flavor. That goes so nicely with the cacao. Cacao is a bitter flavor with the sweet dates. It's all very light. If you filter this to a nut milk bag, all the fiber gets out, and you have just the pure nutrients, the fat, the sugar, the vitamins, and so no fiber, and that makes it light. The flavor is also very light, but that is very nice with the cacao. Yeah, and it's not too much cacao, not too much sweetness here. It's gentle, and you have this pure Brazil nut flavor and cacao flavor. That's slightly Brazil is very strong, but it fits nicely. It balances each other nicely. The color of the Brazil nut is not cacao. If you can understand that, that's just an image to express a little bit what I feel when I taste something. Okay, that's nice. I show you what it looks like. I like it. I will drink that at my dessert. It will take some time, of course. Drink it slowly, otherwise the nutrients go into the system too fast, and that's not good usually. So drink it slowly. Beautiful, right? I love these little desserts on a fasting day. It's delightful. Special delight. Yeah. Okay, that's it for today. if you like fasting, the idea, it's very easy. Gentle juice fasting, we call it in Tree Yoga. It's in the flow. The flow means no violence, basically. Of course, there's more to the idea of the flow. It's the way to teach the flow, to get into the flow, let go into the flow, we say in Tree Yoga. And but in general, it's non-violent. It's a flowing, you walk, you flow, you live without having resistance. Yeah, flowingly. To have the general idea of that. You can learn that in a systematic way, and then you are studying Tree Yoga as I do. It's a wonderful, it's an inner experience. It begins on the inside. You take something inside, you learn it from the outside inside, and then you feel it inside, and then you live from the outside in. Intuitive living. Oh, that's so wonderful. But there's so much to it. Yeah, I could go on now, but the idea of gentle juice fasting, it comes from Tree Yoga, from the flow. If you do something without violence, that means you don't push yourself. You know, you do it lightly. If you feel bad, you do something to make you feel better. Before I did that, before I learned Tree Yoga and gentle juice fasting, I was pushing myself as in a fight. My life was a little bit like a fight. I learned that. That was what we all did. So nothing special with that. But Tree Yoga changed it all. Yoga already changed it, but Tree Yoga really the flow idea of the flow was so amazing, changed everything. And fasting too. Now fasting is, for example, if I feel a little headache or pressure in the head or a dizziness, I eat something. I slow the fasting down. Also, the idea of this nut milks at the end of the fasting day is something like that, to make it more gentle, easy. The idea is to feel great, because if I feel great, I know then the energy is flowing inside without blocks. Energy flow is always healing. Energy block is always not healing. This is a general idea. It's from Asia, it's ancient, it's well known, and they have different words for that. And it's pretty understandable, pretty easy. That's the idea. So, gentle juice fasting is very easy. Yeah, you just begin to make a schedule, 1 day a week, from night to next morning. That's more than 24 hours usually. That's how you begin, and that remains like that. Yeah, you make that schedule for years and years. It doesn't have to be the same day always, but it is easier, of course. I just take the moon days, special moon days. You can find it on a moon calendar, on the fasting calendar on the website of Tree Yoga Moon Fasting. I make a new calendar every year, and because then you have the best fasting days where the moon supports the fasting, the cleansing, and so on. But that's not so important. Mainly, you make a schedule for that fasting day. You get your ingredients. You plan ahead a little bit. That's the idea. That's the trick. You plan ahead a little bit, and then the fasting day is easy. If you feel bad, you break. You stop it. You slow it. You don't want to feel bad, because when the energy flows, you feel great, and that's when your healing begins. And that's what we want. We don't want to feel bad, of course. And that's what I learned from Tree Yoga and from the flow, and it's the best idea in my life. Yeah. So, enough of that. So, if you like that, you go to the Facebook page of Tree Yoga Moon Fasting. Then you can be a member and watch me posting recipes there weekly, juice recipes or nut milk, and the moon calendar is there. And otherwise, just like my videos, subscribe, MD Vegan on YouTube, have another recipe every day, and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.